Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so hyper because I was absent for the past 2 nights. So hello, welcome back to my channel, and it's Serbisyo Sabado once again. Ang bilis ng oras, grabe. Parang kaka-guest pa lang natin kay Architect Ramon. Ngayon nandito ulit siya sa atin. So I'm very happy and excited for this because again, Serbisyo Sabado is all about public service and what is a better way to talk about service than by talking about how can we really contribute in improving the community. But before that, I'd like to greet our audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. Siyempre, Sir Joseph, thank you so much. Parang wala pa yata yung squad mo ngayon. Hindi pa sila dumarating. Thank you for the greetings. And of course, to our audience who are silently watching, thank you so much for tuning in. And syempre, I would also like to greet those who are watching the replay of the episodes. Thank you so much. I can see you because nakikita ko sa number of views kapag offline na kami, nakikita namin kung gaano karami yung views. So sa mga nanonood ng replay, I hope you also join the conversation. You can definitely post your comments, your experiences, or what maybe you have questions. We can definitely um, do our best to answer them even if offline na kami. So we will get back to you and do our best to answer your questions if you have any, or if you have questions also for our guest speaker, please feel free to just post them there and we will also ask our guest speaker. Kahit hindi na kami live, we will do our best to answer them. Kasi syempre, this podcast is exclusively being done for our audience. Hindi naman to para sa amin lang, di ba? Ang pinaka-purpose ng podcast na to is to really share information, raise an awareness, syempre launch mga specific information campaigns and a lot of other things which are not being talked about on mainstream media. So that's why we have it. We have several guests here. We also talk about things which are not really common sa mainstream, but we are talking about it in here kasi ito yung mga conversations na gusto rin nating pag-usapan. So last time I was asked, ano ba yung concept ng podcast mo? So I just said na it's just like talking to maybe a friend of yours while you're on break, or maybe your colleagues, ganyan. So these are just everyday conversations na dinala natin on a bigger platform, which is sa Facebook, para mas maraming makisama sa conversation, and of course mag-contribute din sa discussion natin for tonight. And once again, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, it's Ivorine, and welcome to Serbisyo Sabado. Our topic for tonight is all about adaptation and improving the community. Now, of course, our guest speaker will talk about why this is the topic for tonight, but just an overview. Kasi 'di ba, we are always overwhelmed. Ano nga ba ang pwede nating ma-contribute sa community natin? It looks like a very daunting task. Sometimes it can get overwhelming, yung parang nakaka nakaka-shock, parang ang dami nating kailangang gawin. But what can we really do in our own ways, no? Hindi naman kailangan magpatayo ka ng kalsada or yung linisin mo yung kalsada, hindi naman kailangan gano'n, eh. Actually, meron pang marami pang paraan. At mamaya malalaman natin 'yan sa ating guest speaker. So let me introduce our guest speaker for tonight. This is his second time in here, and I'm so happy kasi napagbigyan niya tayo kahit sobrang busy niya. Sobrang sikat din siyang speaker. So we are really grateful to have him again tonight. Um, our guest speaker for tonight is Architect Ramon Abiera. He's currently the director and the committee chair on urban development, green building, and sustainability of the Infrastructure and Construction Focus Group Philippines, or the ICFG. He is also an architect, environmental planner, CIAC accredited construction arbitrator, and green building advocate. Tonight, he will talk about how do we adopt and improve our community in very simple ways. And because this is the good news, because we actually can improve our community in our own ways. Hindi ko na patatagalin pa. Let's all welcome our guest speaker for tonight, Architect Ramon Abiera. Hello, Architect. Good
Hi,
evening po.
good evening.
Welcome back.
Yes, thank you. Parang deja vu. Parang nagawa na natin to dati.
Oo. Oo nga po. Ayan, binabati ka rin po ng mga audience natin. They're also saying their highs and hellos
Yeah,
sa background.
Magandang gabi din sa inyo mga viewers ni Ivorine Channel podcast and I thank her for inviting me again to talk about the topic for today, which is adaptation and improving the community.
Ayan. And I'm also grateful. Thank you so much, Architect, for giving us the opportunity to have you again. Kasi
Hmm.
alam ko marami kaming matututunan sa inyo bilang marami po kayo talagang expertise and definitely we will be able to learn from you and also from those learnings, we can also share our contribution with the community. So, ang pinakauna pong question ko is kasi our topic for tonight is all about adaptation. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng adaptation? Kasi last week we talk about climate change. Ngayon naman adaptation. So ano po
Well,
ibig sabihin ng adaptation for our benefit?
okay, like last time, I did not explain what adaptation is, but I will tell you that is the very reason why humans existed all throughout these times because humans are able to adapt, and so they are able to thrive and increase in our population, global population. So adaptation is very important uh, to humans. In fact, as we speak today, we are trying to adapt to the new normal of this COVID pandemic. These are all adaptations for us to be able to continue like a coping mechanism, like a coping mechanism for us to be able to continue our existence. Otherwise, we will be soaking and crying, doing nothing. So adaptation is very important, and all throughout our history as humankind, we have continuously adapted. Just for your information, everything that you almost see today were not a product from say 500 years or 100 years ago, several hundred years. It's only a product within the last 100 years, and in the last
Oh.
maybe 30 years, most of the things that we see are actually product of the last 30 years or so. Hindi siya parang we were all born into this kind of. So gradually the world is inventing new things, and it helps us in being able to adapt. Like for example, before walang kotse, so you can imagine that people who travel, hindi masyadong malayo yung nararating nila, no? They can only walk and or ride a animal of burden like horses or in our case carabaos.
Mm.
They can only accomplish so many miles. But ngayon, with a car, you can go to Lowag, which is about 800 kilometers away. That is if you are permitted.
Kung walang restrictions.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's about adapting to the new ways. In fact, the IATF continuously evolving and understanding the situation of COVID and trying to provide us new instructions and new guidance. Pati sila everybody's adapting, including government is adapting, your my children, our neighbors, everyone is adapting at this point in time. So, just for the information, adaptation is the very reason why humankind existed for and thrive.
Hmm. So, sabagay tama po yun na. Ngayon po na-gets ko na yung ibig sabihin ng adaptation. I mean, you put it very simply. Kasi before, I mean, when we first wore the mask po, 'di ba? Yung ano yun, yung mask sa mukha. Parang feeling natin we were suffocated, ganyan. Pero ngayon parang it's already a part of our daily routine na before you get out of your home, you wear the mask. I mean, you got used to it already. So it's also a form of adaptation.
Yes, because without that, we will get sick. So
Mhm.
we will die, we will not thrive. That's why I told you
Ayun.
adaptation is needed so that our people will uh, will thrive and continue to exist. Now, putting this in context of our built environment, which is our houses, communities, and our cities and nation, there's a lot of things that had been we had gone through several stages of adaptation. May mga during post-war, no? Dati dadurog ang buong Metro Manila. Ang wala pa nga Metro Manila, Manila lang. Nadurog because of the war. So people started to rebuild, but before they can rebuild, they have to adapt. Kasi nung time na yun,
Mm-hmm.
it was in crisis, so nag-rebuild. And look, after since 1945 now, about maybe 70 years,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, about 70, 80 years. So tignan mo, malaki na rin ang improvement ulit ng Manila, or now it's called Metro Manila. So, anyway, ang importante is we are adapting in the right way.
Right,
We,
right.
yung iba kasi, di ba, kahit na ano, ginagaya nila yung iba, kahit mali. So,
Yes, correct.
that is to do our adapting the right things that are correct and honest and good for other people also.
Right. Because yeah, we tend to also adapt in a bad way. So dapat we adapt in a good way so that we don't only parang secure ourselves, we also secure the members of the community. Kumbaga, we are not only thinking of ourselves alone. Parang ganon. So when we adapt, we should be also considerate of other people. So I think I totally agree with that. So we are talking about adaptation, and as the pandemic, well, the pandemic, maybe it was foreseen, but we did not know that it will be this huge, or it will be this long, or it will totally change our lives. But there techniques in adaptation part?
Yeah, let me tell you about the first in 1918 about the first pandemic. Uh, During that time, uh, nagkaroon sila ng something similar to us. Although, what happened was at that time, may gera kasi. May world war that is happening. So, the countries who have it, including their soldiers, did not broadcast this. They kept it a secret. Kasi if
Ah,
they broadcast that, oh, our soldiers have these diseases, edi parang they will appear weak.
yes.
Di ba? Will appear weak. So they don't broadcast it, although the existence of it is there. Now, tinawag nilang Spanish flu because at that time, Spain ano siya, hindi siya partisan. Hindi siya left or hindi siya right. He was right in the middle. Para siyang, at the time, para siyang Switzerland. So, siya nagsabi na, oh, merong pandemic merong epidemic kami ng ganito. So, it was named Spanish flu. But really, it did not
Ah,
eliminate from Spain, but it's the only country
oh.
that tried to make it worldwide known and accept it. Yung ibang countries, although they have it, they can't kasi gere. So they were sending soldiers.
Ah,
They packed them in camps. Sorry, they packed them in camps. They put them in trains, in planes, in ships. Tapos at that time kasi usong-uso yung trench warfare, no? So nasa
mhm.
trenches lang yung mga sundalo nila, nasa trenches lang. Kaya yung hawa-hawa talaga silang lahat.
Ah,
Time na yon, and look, and the worst part is this: at that time they did not even know their enemy. Why? Because yung microscope has not yet been developed, so
oh,
they didn't even know it was a virus,
okay.
because the word virus did not exist yet, because they haven't seen it yet, because they have no technology at the time. Swerte natin ngayon because we can see what this virus look like, ano? But long before, hanggang bacteria lang sila. Kasi bacteria is about 200 times bigger than a virus. So
Ah, okay.
they were fighting an enemy, but they didn't know and have never seen or don't even know the nature of their enemies.
Ah,
So malaking
okay.
difference. No? So the world was able to survive, and that was some kind of adaptation also for them to be able to continue to survive despite the handicap nila. They don't know the disease.
Mhm.
It's widespread kasi right after the war, all the people who were sick also outside were now brought back to their countries. Kaya pati yung mga countries na
Ah,
naapektuhan din sila because the disease went back to them after the war. So yun ang ano.
so that's what happened.
So now we are very fortunate because our technology, medical technology, has already become fully developed. And now we can see, oh, ang virus pala natin nakalaban eh, may mga spike, di ba? You see all of this, no?
Yes.
Now the thing is, we've given all of this knowledge. People, if you notice, during the start of the first year of the pandemic, people started to adapt. They
Mhm.
adapted certain things like putting up these plastic shields in
Correct.
offices, in testing centers,
Mhm.
they own suits and all this. Oh, these are part of adaptation for them to be able to move forward and address the issue. So I'm saying this because in our communities, that's exactly what happened. Ano? Uh, yung dati nating ibang eskwelahan were converted to uh, lying-in centers.
Quarantine. Lying in.
Yung mga hospitals natin, because they were overwhelmed, they have to add to even sa garahe nila, sa kanilang mga parking spaces, they have to build
Mhm.
extra extra facilities, not only for the
Mhm.
patient but also for their workers, because their workers, when they go home, uh, they might be contaminated. Pagbalik nila, now they have a contamination coming in. So it's a problem. So dapat natutulog lang sa kanila yung more. So people are starting to adapt. And these adaptations are also reflected in our built environment. Ano? Like for example, if you look at yung mga kainan, mga food centers, because of the prescription of IITF regarding
Mhm.
social distancing, you can see that sometimes uh, eating inside is not allowed. Sometimes sa
Mhm.
labas, ano?
Alfresco.
Sometimes it's just a matter of ordering. Na yun ang naging mas favorable ngayon is instead of going outside and having the chance of catching the disease, uh, better pa o-order ka na lang and much simpler, no? So even our industry started to adapt. The industry that we've known it before kind of also started to be adapting to be able to sustain itself, to cope with the demands of the new situation. And this is where humans are very good. In the forefront of this one, during the first year, architects like UAP uh, have offered their help to almost every branch of government or every LGU, that we tried to help in trying to design and help build emergency facilities uh, all over the Philippines so that life can continue, the disease can be cured, and patients and doctors can work in a safer environment. So these are part or parcel of what happened to this COVID thing. In fact, even in Circle, Quezon City Circle,
Mhm.
tayo din sila ng facilities doon, primarily for staff, medical staff na hindi makauwi sa kanila. So, nagtayo sila doon ng medical staff facility so that uh, doctors and nurses and all the other hospital front line front worker what do you call it? Front what do you call that
Frontliners.
yeah, frontliners are able to stay there kasi some of them live very far or maybe transportation, diba? Transportation have
Mhm.
also picked up. Kasi noon, hininto lahat ng transportation. So everybody, even if they want to work, they don't know how to get to work.
Yes,
So
correct.
ngayon makita mo dumami yung bicycle, diba? Uh, Dumami yung bicycle and it's something that is continuously being done. Now, what else are being done that are not known to other people? Number one is, for example, changes in materials. May mga materials that when the virus are upon them, medyo mas matagal ang kanyang ang buhay niya. But in materials
Oh.
that are such, for example, namamatay siya agad. Like for example, copper. Doon sa copper, maiksi lang ang lifespan ng virus. No? And
Mhm.
di ba na-notice mo yan, yung mga ultraviolet rays wherein they try to use these to uh, uh, for offices so that mamatay din yung virus. So these are some of the adaptations, ano, and then preventing. Ang isang hindi nakikita yung tinatawag na laminar flow. Many times in our air-conditioned facilities, yung flow of air is
Mhm.
only going back and forth inside, and this is not good during this COVID. Ang kailangan,
Oh.
fresh air to come in and it has to go outside. Laminar flow, meaning the air coming in will go out on the other side. This
Ah.
is most important so that the amount of virus contained within the room will not accumulate and
Mhm.
there will be as little as possible. And
Mhm.
also, so that, di ba, temperature, for example, dati ang mga office ang lalamig, When I was
Mhm.
in
Yeah, actually.
when I was in CIAP before, nagkataon na the building we are in had rebuilt its aircon, medyo bagong-bago, and napakalamig. Napakalamig sa loob.
Naka-winter jacket sa loob ng
No,
office.
totoo yan. There's like that. So, pero ngayon, if you go back to these places, medyo mababa na yung aircon nila. And also, there's better ventilation. So, these are form of actual adaptations that we can do for our homes. May mga ibang bahay, for example, mahina ang ventilation or maybe hindi siya. So, number one is to improve the ventilation in the houses. We have to sanitize everything. Smooth surface is good to clean. Smooth. Rough surfaces, very difficult to clean. That's why hospital floors, yung floors ng hospital, if you notice, most of them are seamless, meaning hindi sila putol-putol. Seamless, either they're made of
Ah.
vinyl, yeah, continuous vinyl, or maybe other materials, pero seamless. The reason for that is so that when the maintenance crew come in, mas malinis yung floor kasi walang naiiwan na bacteria and viruses in those crevices. So, sa ating mga bahay, ganun din. Remember that these viruses are so small, they stick to the surface and also they are harboring, they are in the creases kung saan yung may mga dugtungan ng mga tiles,
Tiningnan
andun.
ko rin yung tiles namin, eh.
Ah, yeah. Ano,
Kung meron for sure merong mga may mga ano ba tawag dun, yung
joint,
kasi it's
joint.
mga plank joints, meron siyang joints.
Yeah,
So,
in the,
dapat linisin ng mabuti para hindi sumiksik dun sa mga,
pero
um,
no matter what kind of thing you do, if there are joints, they will always fall in the joints. Yun ang,
ah,
kaya nga sa hospitals, yung kanilang seamless, walang joints.
Seamless. Okay.
Linis ka, walang naiiwan. That's one of the strategies in adaptation because of the function of the kailangan malinis siya. So that's one
Mm.
kind. No, during this pandemic, marami pa yan like some offices before they were crowded. They had too many chairs,
Yes.
tables side to side. No, now they have adapted. They started to have uh, tables that are not anymore together, but they are facing each other with barriers. Some have adapted
Mm.
reduce the number of tables altogether. They have
Right.
lots of small conference tables and rooms for breakout. And if they can communicate wirelessly by computer or less paperwork, would be lesser the chance of spreading the virus. So everybody took a step,
Right.
and every step that we took had also an impact on our built environment because kailangan kasama pati infrastructure in the adaptation. Kasi if you adapt, this is the problem with the roads, for example, say EDSA or other roads, wherein they try to adapt, but the because of the need for more volume, unfortunately, the infrastructure is deficient. Talagang kulang yung infrastructure. Kaya kung kailangan nila
Mm.
lagyan, for example, ng bike lane, lalagyan nila ng bike lane, pero ima-minus nila dun sa existing road carriage. So,
Yeah.
it's hindi mo din siya no, no? So meaning infrastructure need also to adapt to be rebuilt. Sa America, for example, they have this diamond lane for cars na mag-isa lang siya, mag-isa ka lang, uh, pwede ka dun sa diamond lane. Sorry,
Diamond.
sorry, on the opposite, if you have more than one passenger, kuwari apat kayo sa isang kotse, you can use diamond lane. Or if you have a diamond lane emblem, which is issued to cars that are hybrid, like Toyota, yung mga Toyota where they have this hybrid of electric
Mm.
and
Yes.
gasoline. So
Electric and fuel.
during the time that they wanted to uh, entice everybody to buy hybrid vehicles so that it will be better for the environment, they issued them these diamond lane stickers. And these are adaptation. In the States, when they made these diamond lanes, they did not just cut a section of the road and say, oh, this is diamond lane. No, they
They
provide
created.
the infrastructure. May sarili siyang flyovers. Yung diamond lane na yun, dedicated
Ah,
to its own.
okay.
Now, this is the only way that you are able to have this kind, but you are not affecting the rest. Uh, so, uh, infrastructure also need to really adapt in the correct way. Like for example, one of the reasons why we have tremendous traffics in EDSA is
Mm-hmm.
because the road carriage are varying, iba-iba.
That's
So
true.
you have super wide, and then when they come
And
into
then
underpass,
small.
they to super small, di ba?
Yes.
So, every time this happens, this fluctuation of the road width, traffic starts to build up in those areas. And with so many traffic during those times, talagang magka-traffic talaga siya. And this is the
Mm-hmm.
reason na sinasabi ko na dapat adaptation should have happened correctly at the time. Kasi yung EDSA, the things that we are doing in EDSA are a little bit late. They should have been done way, way before in anticipation of any of these massive uh, uh, commercial communities that are existing now along EDSA, BGC, dumami na eh. So meaning,
Yes.
pero the road carriage, which is original EDSA, that didn't expand. Dapat sana nung time na way back say 20, 30 years ago, yung mga sidewalks pa lang nung araw na yon ginamit na agad. O kaya naman na prevented yung mga ibang buildings from coming too close to EDSA, so that when you try to buy, expropriate the road right of way, hindi masyadong magiging mahal. So every
Yes.
time na left and right, lumiliit yung EDSA, dapat yan ting liliko siya, hindi addition, hindi subtraction, kung dapat addition. Talagang mag-expropriate
Mm.
sa labas doon para makagamit. Pero it's expensive when the built environment is already there. It's very expensive. So one of the other things is adaptation also should be timely. Meaning, alam mo kasi, ewan ko if I mentioned to you before, yung tinatawag na strategic foresight. Ang
Not.
Pilipinas, hindi tayo nag-apply ng strategic foresight. Always strategic planning. Kailangan may strategic foresight way beyond the horizon.
Oh.
So that you can anticipate many of these things. Tama yung magiging galaw ng ating decisions that have to be made. Can only happen if you had projected this way before.
I
Oh,
also noticed that kasi for example, if you travel especially to smaller towns or cities, you will notice talaga how everything's built and yet there's only one road for everything. I've been to several places in in the country and talagang yun yung nanonotice ko na parang the bicycle is there, the tricycle is there, jeepney, bus, lahat, private or public vehicles, the ambulance is also there. Sabi ko, there must be something wrong with this. So ngayon nakuha ko na yung sagot ko that it's actually strategic foresight. So nobody hindi naman siguro nobody but most probably parang walang masyadong long term, they did not envision that these particular cities will really blow up na as big, for example, as Metro Manila, na talagang lalaki yung population. And also, parang nagdadagdag na lang ng roads, pero nagdadagdag ng roads outside of EDSA, not like what you were saying earlier na for in the US, for example, they're building an extra road for exclusively for that particular purpose. In here, kagaya po ng sabi nyo, bicycle lanes, pero they're also sharing the roads like with motorcycles, which is not really that safe. Kasi syempre they have different speeds and different ways on how to drive them. So yeah, I think that's pretty much how I understood what you were saying about the infrastructure being ready aside from the people lang. Hindi pwedeng tao lang dapat magkakasama sabay-sabay mag-adapt.
yeah, I live in the States for almost 8 years.
Mhm.
Isang notice ko doon, I happened to be living in the place called Rancho Cucamonga, which is one of the fastest developing area during the time I was there. Uh, sa kanila, when they start development, uh, mauna yung utilities. The roads and all the utilities have to be there.
Mm.
Otherwise, they do not permit development. Sa atin,
Oh.
nauna na yung development, yung utilities, wala pa. Kahit na upgrade, wala pa. That is why you notice nag-i-improve na isang lugar, pero masasabi mo na substandard because the utilities are not in place yet. Sa
Mm.
Amerika, tapos na yung daan, tinatanong namin, bakit hindi pa buksan ito? Kasi may ginagawa pang utilities. They need to put all the utilities in place before they can open the areas that are going to be opened for development. So, nauuna talaga yung roads and utilities. Sa atin, nauuna yung development, yung utilities, pwede ka mag-develop kahit walang utilities. This is what's happening exactly during yung kagaya na napag-usapan natin, yung pagka merong disasters and there are relocation sites.
Yes.
The time they start to build anything on it, there's no utilities. There's no utilities available. The roads are not there. The reason is because it will take some time before all of this will follow that certain relocation site. Ang problema
Mm.
pa, in many areas, yung utilities like water, they don't
Mm.
have supply in other barangays, wala sila, or in other cities. Meron sila in another city. Doon sila kumukuha lahat ng supply. But the thing is, you cannot just extend your line and it's okay. No, you have to increase the pump capacity in the,
Mm-hmm.
and if so happen na medyo pataas pa ng konti yung slope mo, then they have
Yeah.
to factor that in about the weight of the water to ensure proper delivery of these
Mm-hmm.
so kailangan ang mangyari, development should come just before the utilities have already been sa atin dito kaya kung makikita mo may community na dati hindi naman develop, and then all of a sudden after some time biglang dumami yung nagpapagawa doon, naiwan lahat ng utilities doon, including electricity, including power, telephone, internet, water, lahat yun, na-late yun, drainage, nalilate yan. Imagine a road that is used to be bounded by, say, one-story houses. And then all of a sudden, after 20 years, makikita mo puro building na malalaki. Mabuti kung yung kanyang utility and improve na, pero paminsan hindi pa. Nagtayo na yung mga buildings, pero yung pagkakabitan nila doon sa main lines, which are the utilities along the streets, hindi naman siya na-improve pa. So, kung malaki yung kanya, like example, you have a 30-story building with so many bathrooms, to 300 bathrooms, or 300, tapos bababa yung pipe. Dapat sana malaki yung pipe niya kasi marami.
Mm-hmm.
Pero pagdating niya doon sa main line, eh, maliit yung main line kasi yun yung dating existing Mga isa-isang bahay lang ang nakakabit sa kanya. So, there is this delay sometimes is substantially delayed na nandiyan dyan na yung mga buildings pero yung mga utilities niya wala pa. Kaya nahihirapan yung kaya nagko-complain pa minsan yung mga homeowners, wala pa daw silang tubig, wala daw silang, di ba parang gano'n? The reason is because
Yes.
the utility services are not yet in place.
So that's where the problem is coming from. Kumbaga meron ng mga buildings but the drainage is not fixed. Kaya may mga areas na although highly developed, they have buildings, malls and all, but binabaha because the utilities were not there. The
Yes,
utilities are not in place,
no, the utilities are in place.
but not sufficient.
Yung original design pa lang ng utilities. Not it was never
The
designed
upgrade.
multi-story buildings one after the other alongside parang Orchard Road sa Singapore wherein you have too many buildings. Yun, inauna muna yung utility so that it can accommodate all the necessary requirements of standard living within that area. So, importante yan. So, these
Mm,
are part of that adaptation that needs to happen pagdating sa infrastructure. We cannot be adapting while the others are not, or the parts like infrastructure will not be adapting. Hindi siya magkakasya nga siya. Yung nga lang, substandard yung delivery.
mhm,
Substandard delivery. Yung mga airports, for example, when the airport is starting to reach its point of that it needs to be improved, so may bagong design, But before, from design to the implementation of the new airport, baka siguro mga 5 to 10 years after the
mhm.
design. So by the time it's again operated, it's already old, a little old. So it's also good again for a shorter period of time. Hindi siya yung full extent.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yun
kaya
po, yun talaga yung mga issues na nakikita na natin ngayon, especially with the change in lifestyles as well. Yeah. So, you also talked about climate change last week. So, I was just wondering how can we adapt when there are several changes going on, not only about not only about yung mga built environments, but also with what's going on with the pandemic plus climate change pa, so biglang uulan, biglang iinit. How can we adapt? Are there also ways?
Okay, the first thing is there's no other thing we can do except to adapt.
Mhm.
We have to be resilient for us to survive. So, yun na nga yung sinasabi na everybody is trying to do its own. Yung pamilya nyo, for example, pamilya ko, yung kapitbahay natin, and all this stuff, they're all adjusting because these are not the normal. No? They're not used to this. Uh, how could you be used to, staying at home for 1 year? Di ba? Parang highly unusual, di ba, nung araw.
Yeah.
We always go around, walk around freely. Ngayon, we have to adapt to this one. Ang hirap pag gala-gala na may face mask, especially especially for people like me na sweat type. Basang-basa yung face mask when I go anywhere kasi nga ang init eh. So
Totoo.
ang style, hindi ka na lang muna lalabas masyado dun sa lugar na yun kasi mapapawisan ka lang eh. So I really para bang feel sorry for those people who have to use the bus, uh, or walk a long walk during this time. I feel for them kasi talagang very inconvenient yung may mask. Hindi siya
Yes.
natural sa tao. No? So anyway, we are all adapting and sabi mo nga there's nothing we can do except do it eh. Now, yung tinatawag na can do it attitude, there's no other way. There's no choice. Choice is not there. So what we have to do is what we have to do, we have to do. Now, there are things that we can. Number one is to reduce the risk. Yung we do not put ourselves in situations that increases the risk. An example, kagaya ng pinag-uusapan natin, I would not go to crowded places personally.
Mhm.
Kasi
Mhm.
nahihirapan niya eh. The chances are I will start to remove it. But if you were in the middle of so many people, chances are you get sick. So anong gagawin ko? I
Mhm.
will avoid going to those places because that's the only way I can adapt. So I will refrain from being in those certain risk area. Uh, so people, the choices that we can make is we can find ways to continue whatever we are all doing. But sabi nga, we cannot do it 100%. We have to give in to some inconvenience, to some slow down. We have to give in to some things that we cannot do really, kagaya ng watch movie. Talaga we cannot watch movie kasi kulog siya eh. Di ba?
Yes.
Kulog. Eh, di ba problema nga dyan yung sa ano yung circulation of air
Yes.
sa movie house. Kulog siya kasi may acoustics eh. Pagka may open air yan, maingay sa labas. Maingay.
Ah.
Marinig sa labas kung nasa mall, maririnig ng mga iba kung may ano yan, may parang airflow yan. So, yun ang problema, no? But the good thing is we're all adapting. In fact, the whole world seemingly is ano, ngayon nagkataon lang nga na nature, tinatawag ko na left hook. Sometimes nature has a vicious left hook na we don't anticipate. Kagaya nitong pandemic, none of our people in this world have ever actually had any experience in pandemic kasi the last one was in uh, 1918, no? So matagal na
Yes.
'yon. So I would like to answer that question that they have, yung difference of foresight and planning, strategic foresight and planning. Okay? Thank you, Jessica, for your question. In short, yung strategic planning is like if you have a hole on the ground, you keep on digging the same hole to be able to develop and find new things. That's strategic planning. Strategic foresight, you try to create more holes. You don't dig the same hole. You try to develop
Ah.
and find new hole so that you can also find new things, other things not found in the first hole. So
Oh.
that's one of the big difference is you try to, it's like ano, meron silang ibang tawag, yung tinatawag nila palang blue ocean strategy, wherein
Yeah.
everything they're doing is in the red ocean, kaya competition is very fierce, hindi ba tama yon?
Yes.
So if you were want to strategize and want to find something special for yourself, you have resources, skills, and you want to create a new ball game, you go to the blue ocean. Kasi doon you
Yes.
have less. Chances are you don't have a competitor. You own the game. But of
Yes.
course, it's expensive to start a new game, ano ha? Because the next thing will be the buy-in. Will they buy in?
Yes.
Will the people buy in? So in
Yes.
Singapore, for example, the adaptation for Blue Ocean is actually started from the top going down, from their prime minister going down, and that's the best part of it. So uh, the acceptance and the rollout is easier. Mahirap mag-rollout if too many people are to go to the method of why is that? Well, I don't understand the question. What is this? You
You
mentioned
mentioned
that.
that it's usually strategic planning that is the go-to method. I think you mentioned about people just usually take the strategic planning without considering strategic foresight. Why? I think that's the question. Why do you think people just use strategic planning?
Well, because yung strategic foresight is way beyond the horizon. Uh, Very few people can see it. It really needs effort, special people with visionaries and people with to develop and find something in the way ahead of everybody. So that ang isang example ko nga niyan is uh, sometimes we have programs, for example, in government, they have programs, gano'n. But to implement it needs the graduates of schools.
Mm-hmm.
So dapat malayo pa lang uh, yun na ang subjects nung kinukuha ng mga
Right.
bag, yung mga eskwela. So that when they start to graduate sometime in the future, yung pangangailangan na i-implement na yun, may mag
Yes.
implement so that it will
Totally
merge.
agree.
Kung an example, medyo nahuhuli yung education, nauuna na yung program, wala namang mag-implement. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the difficult part. Ano? Kagaya ng ngayon, mayroon di ba yung digitization.
Yes.
Unfortunately, although we do have very strong digitization talents and young people, still, in terms of people and hardware and softwares, we are still very much lacking. And
Right.
so, for us to go into digitization, kailangan nandiyan dyan na muna yung hardware and softwares and the training, expertise muna. Kung nasa level pa lang na nag start siyempre, wala ka din masyadong aasahan. So, it has to be at the level of expertise na yung mga graduates that we can utilize to implement uh, yung rollout ng digitization. So,
Right.
it has to be a combination from, kaya kailangan parang ano yan may think tank. Uh, I remember, yung sa Amerika, they have this company, yung DARPA, and they have another one, I forgot the name, but these are the strategic foresights a planner of their country. And they are the ones na, kaya mapapansin po, if there is a war, and they get into a war, they come up with, doon lang nilalabas yung new technology. But they already had it before because they have
Mm-hmm.
planned it already. They try to anticipate what the others would be having. So in the end, they try to surprise everybody na, oh, meron na silang ganyan. So more or less their chance to win in that war, for example, is more or less better because they have already advanced uh, plans and weapon systems that they had thought of way ahead of time. Kasi matagal din mag-develop ng mga ganun eh. Takes
Yes.
years, decades. So dapat yung trend of thought should be even farther away. Yung decisions that
Mm.
will and to pursue those kinds of ideas have to be more or less discussed and decided by whoever way ahead of ano.
Mm.
And the thing is, it also goes along with what is available technology. In other words, sometimes you have a good thought, but the technology is not yet there.
Yes,
So
yes.
while waiting for it, you're already thinking about it. When it comes out, you can already start to implement rather than ang Pilipinas kasi I foresee it as ang kulang natin is actually yung nga, yung strategic foresight. The other one that we lack is really research and development. We are
Yes.
users of technology, but we don't develop it. So, kailangan we
Yes.
start to develop this. We have to encourage organizations. We have to encourage companies. The government itself has to invest in kagaya ngayon, ano, with this pandemic, what happened was, dati, ang sinasabi ng mga countries, oh, we will opt to have these things manufactured abroad kasi mas mura ang labor, ano. But with this pandemic and what's happening now, uh, people or countries are now starting to think that dapat pala we should go back to the old thing na we have to develop those things that are important within our country. Kailangan meron tayong self uh, sufficiency and develop this within our country so that we are not affected by this kind of logistics challenge. Kasi nung nagka-pandemic, nagkaroon ng challenges eh. Kasi at that
Right.
time, many things were being manufactured in countries, pero the sources of the parts come from different countries. And nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, na nagkaroon ng problem with sourcing, yung kanilang logistics chain, the value chain is affected. So, nahirapan silang ano, they have everything except they are missing one or two vital parts. So they cannot even roll out the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the things I think that are important for us to ano is to improve and increase our research and development not only by the government but also by the individual companies groups like for example in the case of the United Architects of the Philippines we are going to start a innovation center uh, uh, hopefully I will be the one to be chair this uh, committee, and it's something very important. As I try to encourage them that we have to take this because this is the weakness, the very weakness of our country, and if we can help have a solution as a organization, then it is very important for our strategic foresight. Uh,
Right.
So we can come up with instead of waiting for products and designs by other people, the organization can actually create designs and products that are not available that nag-emulate yung product and designs right from the organization.
Yeah, dapat ganun talaga. I think we should really be encouraged to do more research and to be really to adapt through the ways that we think can help the community and also the organizations that we're working with. You mentioned about invention last week. We were not able to show them, so um I would just like to ask you again about your invention because I know that we also have young audience who are watching, and ako personally, I encourage the young ones to think more kasi mas advanced na sa technology yung mga kabataan natin. So I really want them to see that there are still so many things that we can do based on our creativity and based on our skill. So I will just show the screen so that you can talk to us about this one. Where's the should I am I showing the right the
Yes,
right
yes, yes.
page?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So I try to name to give my invention a name. I call it Sam. Actually, this the X represents the pontoon. The X, if you can see here, the X is actually the
Mm-hmm.
pontoon, and it's actually adaptable modular pontoons. So it's
Uh,
modular pontoons that can be used primarily for disaster. You can scroll up, scroll it to the next one.
this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I try to find it because of the increase in sea level rise with the precipitation from more violent, frequent storms, and also aggravated with the loss of river capacity to move floodwaters. So, flooding is something that uh, is here and is going to be increasing due to the climate change. Next one. Punta ka na lang siguro dun sa mga ano,
Yung
uh,
yung
yung
image, this one.
just to show ito, these are the pontoons that I have. They have different capacities. Next one. Next one. Doon na lang sa mga ano, yung may mga, kung ano na yung usage niya. The ones that, these are different kinds. So, uy, di nag ano
Hindi
Hindi nag,
nag-load. Hindi nag-load. Isa pa. Let's share it again.
uh,
Medyo bumagal yung internet ko.
uh, kahit doon na lang sana, I think that's already enough. Yung just to show them how it is used, these pontoons. Yung mga parts lang na may parang where you can see these flood rescue vehicles. Ganun.
Okay, let me share that again.
Okay.
Ayaw mag-load nung sorry, my internet is not working well. Maybe I can just show
Uh,
this one, the ones that loaded.
okay.
Okay, let me show this again. So does this work?
Go, go,
Ayan.
go, go to the ones na mayroong ano, if it's already available, yung usage na.
It's
The,
not loading on my
never mind, it's okay. So what
okay.
I'm saying is these are all usable for various kinds of rescue to improve capacity for bringing people, livestock, and relief goods through the floodwaters. Uh, uh, Pontoons are normally towed, meaning they don't have power by themselves, and they are towed by other craft. This just
Mm,
to increase their capacity for carrying more people or more relief goods together. But in this case, yung pontoons na inaano ko, ini-envision namin, they are also capable of being motor driven, electric motor driven,
okay.
to give them a
That's
little
why it
bit,
has an outboard motor.
yeah, so that they can also have some maneuverability during flooding. PVC. The answer to that, Miss Jessica, is PVC.
Ayan, PVC. And this is a PVC is
Polyvinyl
what
chloride.
okay.
Uh, Polyvinyl chloride material. Anyway, again, I would like to encourage people who are creative, who have systems that they are already in place, or maybe tradesmen who are were inventive enough to do some kind of small devices that makes your work easier, replicable, and reduces wastage, improves time delivery. So ito yung mga pwedeng ano yan eh, pwedeng apply for patent or for may tawag na yung industrial patent or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, uh, these are good. Why? Because uh, they they help other people who are not so skilled
Mm-hmm.
with these assistive devices, as I call them, or small gadgets. Uh, they help the non-skilled or the semi-skilled to improve the delivery of their services, improve, reduce wastage, improve the speed, at saka gumanda yung quality. So, it's good for everybody. In fact, if you are frequent to see in Facebook, there are so many devices the Chinese are developing, di ba? Nakikita niyo sa
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, iba-ibang klase to make life easier. Well, these are the
Right.
type of things that I think Filipinos can do also better to find
Yes.
ways of being able to solve and make things easier in our daily lives. It's just a matter of recognition and but having this critical thinking of okay, this is done this way. Maybe I can do it in another way, which might be cheaper, which might be more. Pwede siyang DIY, yung do it yourself thing, or maybe you can even have it fabricated and sold, uh, and other things. And also, it's something na it's in us that we just need to tap into and focus on it. Ngayon, medyo maraming time because less work, more to encourage people, especially the designers, the creative people, and those who are also tradesmen
Mm-hmm.
who develop a certain technique to make their job easier. Maybe that's even something that is already adaptive technology. So I think we have to make use of this God-given gift uh, for
Right.
for us. Imagine if hindi nila na-invento yung kutsara, yung tinidor, hindi nila na-invento. But can you imagine if it's really hard to think about it? Siguro nung wala pa, di ba? Pero once you see, it's easy. So you can have a lot of kind of iterations, yung iba-ibang klase. At
Yes.
after seen it. So, no araw, I keep on watching. Kanina lang I commented for those cartoonists, yung mga cartoonists. I
Yes.
consider those that make cartoons or design cartoons or draw cartoons ganon, as visionaries. Because some of the things that they come up with have never been seen before.
Yes.
When they put it into cartoons, uh, some people who is watching or looking at that image triggers a light in his mind for him to
Mm-hmm.
actualize, to do something actual based on the cartoon. So these
Yes.
are the, no araw, I remember when I was a child, nakakakita ako ng mga cartoons na uh, yung yung the way you park cars is you use yung parang Ferris
I.
wheel type, ano?
Yeah.
Diba? Those cartoons. Now, that's a reality. No? So,
Yes.
and more sophisticated type. So, but I saw them first from cartoons. So, I believe that, personally believe that cartoons are, kasi meron isang cartoon na nakita ko, which was painted in 1913, na nakita ko sa
Oh
Facebook.
wow.
Yung dalawang tao na nasa kabila ng lamesa, both of them are talking to somebody else. Parang yung ginagawa ngayon natin. And that was
1913.
way, way, way before.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
mas maganda yung vision niya because he kind of saw it that things like this can happen. Nung araw, parang uh, that's a problem. But now, that's the reality. Pumasok ka sa isang kwarto, lalo ng mga bata, lahat sila nakatingin sa ganun. Every, yeah,
That's so true. And it's actually becoming a problem as well for parents, yung laging nasa gadget yung mga bata.
mabuti nga nasabi mo yan, ano. Kasi, like anything else, there is people and there is tools. The problem is when people, some people use people and love tools. Kailangan you have to love people and use the tools. The tools are only
Yeah,
tools. They are not the life. They are not. They're just part of the of a tool. Ang
they help
importante,
you out.
yung tao. So we need that's a basic na in life there's only two things. One are people and the other are tools. Education is a tool, cars is a tool, profession is a tool. Everything is a tool. It's not people. So you love people but you use the tools. Money is a tool. So
Mm,
you cannot love
like
the
that.
tools and and then hate the people or maybe antagonize the people. You have to use the tools to love the people.
I like that perspective. And also,
Mm.
I totally agree po, Architect, when you said that um, yung mga inventions noon, siguro noon hindi nila naisip that it would have been possible. But quoting Nelson Mandela's words, he said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." So if
Yeah,
people do not dare to create, so to all the audience out there who fear about creation, you just remember this: if you don't create, somebody else will anyway. So baka dapat ikaw yung mauna kasi the earlier you discover things, the earlier as well that you can help other people and you can help the community. um I've already met several people who have invented random things, and maybe they also don't know how to start with it, so maybe we can also siguro encourage the people who are watching right now, if they have any inventions, what's the first thing that they can do? Should they automatically go to IPO for the patent, or how do they do it?
ipopil. Ipopil.
IPO.
Yeah, ipopil in their website. In inventions, there are many kinds. There's the invention,
Mhm.
the patents, the industrial models. You have also
Mm.
copyrights. So sometimes uh, you need to do this so that if in the event that your invention will be successful, you would have your rights protected to it. That's the thing. Kasi sometimes when you invent something, you do not know that it becomes something that's really that explodes, and everybody wants it pala, no?
Yeah.
So your rights will be protected. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, yung mga companies, especially in the States or in other countries, they try to patent everything. In fact, the problem is even food, grains,
Pinapatent.
pinapapatent ng mga malalaking companies abroad. Uh, so that mayroong mga kaso pa nga, like for example, the two farms that are together, one farm is using a patented thing. Pagkatapos dun sa kabilang farm, yung standard. Pero after a while, yung lumalabas doon sa kabila, nagiging parang sa sabi niyo, inagaw mo yung patent namin. Yung mga, hindi naman sila yung bees
Ah.
transferred their pollen to the other one. So, nung nagano na siya, yung kaya nga, karamihan ng mga kanilang ginagawa na mga ganon, hindi siya replicable. I mean, sorry, sterile siya para hindi siya makopya. Yung mga
Mm.
ina-apply nilang mga seeds and all, hindi sila ma-propagate doon sa ng iba. You have to buy it from the patent. That's really bad. In my opinion, food should not be patented. Food.
Patented, yes, kasi it's
Because this,
food.
yeah, not only that, it's God-given resources to us like
Yeah,
water.
you don't
Uh,
produce it.
yeah, they did not produce it. They just got it from where God left it. So I don't think that they should. But in America, in other countries where democracy is really very high, they try to apply. There are court cases that goes in yung mga
Yes.
GMO product. O yun, patented yung mga yan. Yung kanilang ideas to start these GMOs, like for example, corn. They say corn, no? Kasi in some areas when they harvest the vegetables, for example, they have to do it through mechanical means, ano, for
Mm-hmm.
industrialization, para mas marami, ano. Now, when they use, say, certain equipment, industrial devices, paminsan nadudurog yung ano, nasusugatan, nabiblemis. So they design the skin of these, for example, tomatoes to be a little harder para pag dumaan siya sa makina na mag-harvest sa kanya, hindi siya magbi-blemish. Yung ganon. Or maybe
Mm-hmm.
na hindi siya maapektuhan ng germs. Yung mga rice, sa rice studies natin, pag may flooding, namamatay yung mga palay. So,
Mm-hmm.
yung Rice Research Institute, gumagawa sila ng mga varieties that can withstand flooding. So, hindi siya mabubulok.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh,
these are the good intentions of these some of these GMO that they are applying. But sometimes these are the good parts. Yung sabi nga in every good there's always bad, and in every bad there's
yes,
something, you know. So you can't get one and not have the other. So
yes.
there are people who take advantage of all of this and create either monsters or viruses. Siguro pag let's say, ano, so yun ang problema. Kanina lang nanonood ako, pero silang mga naririnig ko na parang they try to bioengineer soldiers. Tinitip nila yung gene so that they can come up with parang super soldiers. I think these are
Oh,
all
oh,
on the bad side. These are kind
yes.
of things that are on the bad side.
Mhm.
Because we're already
If the
playing God. We're playing
Yes,
God.
if the it's really about the intention, guess what's the intention? If it's for something good, then it must then it must be good. But you know that this is where we say that the end does not justify the means. I think we want some, 'di ba? We want something good in the end, pero yung process on how we do it, eventually some people turn into something else. And in
Yeah,
this case, they want to be super, but we shouldn't be playing God, as you said it earlier. That's
yeah,
that's 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 a very good point.
the creator of dynamite, which is Alfred Nobel, actually did not intend dynamite to be used for war or for the military. They used this for mining,
Mm,
but because it's useful also in its application to war, and ano, kaya that is the reason kung bakit si Alfred Nobel started to have this Nobel Prize. Their company started to have this Nobel Prize so that they can para bang uh, put emphasis on the good things, goodness of the other scientists and other people that they give awards, no, yung goodness kasi yung kanya nagamit for bad things, although the intention was to use it for good things.
mm.
So there are many of these, sabi nga nila if you have a hammer, you can either hammer a nail or you can hammer another person's head with the same hammer, you know, pero totally
Yes,
different tools.
yes.
So
Really
that's the
about the
thing.
intention.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Architect Rowan. I think I've pretty much learned a lot of things again for this episode, and of course, just quoting our conversation for tonight, it's really about the intention. If our goal is to improve the community, then we also improve ourselves and also think of ways. Even in our own simple ways, we can also help the community. It's just a matter of knowing what your intentions are. Kasi, di ba, mga simpleng bagay hindi natin ginagawa, even if we know that, for example, ito sobrang simpleng example, crossing the streets. Dapat, 'di ba, pag nagko-cross ka sa pedestrian lane, dapat sa pedestrian lane pala. Dapat pag cross ka ng street sa pedestrian lane. Pero people still cross everywhere and hindi inaantay na mag-stop yung mga sasakyan. Kahit nakago yung mga sasakyan, tumatawid tayo. I think kahit sa maliliit na bagay, if we are particular about what we're doing in the small thing, in the smallest ways, we will also be able to help the community. Kasi kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng mga accidents, 'di ba? Kasi may bigla-biglang tumatawid, hindi sumasabay sa mga traffic, ano ba 'to, hindi sumusunod sa traffic regulations. These simple things are actually very critical for us, and yet we don't really mind about it. So we're really encouraging everybody, no, not only, what you can do, but also what you can do, like what you can invent, but also in the simplest ways, in just by improving the way we act towards the community and towards other people. I think it's also a big contribution already in our community. So hindi lang din sa infrastructure, but also with our attitude in how we use our infrastructure and the um ano ba tawag dito, yung mga amenities na available for us. You were
I
saying something else.
the small thing, it's a small thing, but it contributes really. Many do not know
Yes,
it.
yes.
For example, just the color of your roof, yung kulay lang ng bubong mo.
Mm-hmm.
If the color of your house is not white, it absorbs heat, and it absorbs heat more or less. You'll be spending more electricity in trying to make your house cooler kasi nga
Right.
nag-absorb yung dark colored roof, yung white color roof more or less reflects many of the heat and mababa na konti. Now this simple thing is so small that nobody realized, but if your roof is dark, not only do you spend more money in trying to aircon your house and rooms, but you also contribute to heat island effect, meaning the heat that is accumulated in the built environment uh, rises the temperature of the neighborhood.
Oh, so you're
So
contributing to the heat of the neighborhood? Pwede po pala yun. Okay,
it,
so that's the first time I've heard of that.
yun, it's a
Oh.
real thing among the that you need to reduce. Yung iba pa, they put up so big windows that when they aircon, it becomes a liability for that room kasi nga your aircon will work continuously because there is a transference of heat along this kind of window in this part of the building envelope. So heat is passing through the window, and so your aircon, when you switch it on, it's continuously trying to run and bring down the temperature. But because there's heat transference, what
Mm.
happens is it keeps on going. So while it's keeping on going to try to bring the temperature lower, it's actually using so much electricity. So
Oh.
may tinatawag sila na window to wall ratio, meaning if you can reduce the window to wall ratio within the prescribed space, then you reduce this opportunity for heat transference to come into the building envelope, and this will help in generating, utilizing less energy. Energy, of course, if we all utilize higher energy, we will need more power plant to supply all,
Mm.
and the power plant is the one that generates the greenhouse gas.
Oh, so these very small things, when you all add it up, it contributes to the
Yeah,
welfare of the community. Medyo
yeah.
na guilty ako dun sa dun sa ano ba to, sa floor to ceiling. Kasi I love looking at windows na yung floor to ceiling na floor to ceiling na windows or even doors, ganyan.
Meron
Hindi
naman
pala siya masyadong energy efficient.
meron naman siyang alternative solution material, which of course is yung e-glass, low e-glass, and maybe double pane glass or triple pane glass, so that there's
Mm.
no heat loss sa atin. Basically, it's yung heat coming in, but in other
Right.
countries, they try to prevent the heat from going out kasi nga
Yes,
winter, no, they try
winter.
to
Oo.
generate heat kasi masyadong malamig, so they have to prevent the heat from going out naman. So the
Mhm.
envelope is important uh, especially for reducing consumption. We need to reduce consumption because uh, by reducing consumption, automatically we also reduce the use of natural resources that are finite. They are first, number one, they're God given, as I mentioned in the last episode, and it's something that we all have to use wisely.
Mhm. Ayun. So even in our homes, we can definitely contribute to the improvement of our built environment or for our community by conserving energy. This kung na-mention na natin to last week sa episode din with architect Ramon about yung waste disposal, segregation, and a lot of things that we can do. Simpleng mga bagay dapat nag-start yan sa bahay, and not only with us but also with the children, kung merong mga bata sa bahay, kasi the earlier we train them, they will also be the leaders of the future. So dapat train them young and train them well so that they will also be able to become better people or good citizens of this country once it's their turn to be the adults in the community. So hopefully we were able to learn some insights once again from architect Ramon Abiera, and we are really grateful for this opportunity to have an expert talking to us about our built environment or the infrastructures in our community, especially with our homes din. Kasi importante sa atin na malaman din natin what we can do from our end, because again we are talking about Serbisyo Sabado. What can we do to serve other people? Actually, we can start with our homes. We don't even have to clean other people's homes. Kahit sa loob lang ng bahay natin, makakatulong tayo. Yung kagaya ng mga simpleng, yung kagaya ng paint, nakakatulong pala tayo or nakakadagdag sa init ng community kapag hindi tayo mindful din sa mga paints na ginagamit natin sa bahay. So,
Can
thank you so much. Yes po.
can I add something? Last time you mentioned about yung rainwater collector
Yes, I
na
think.
makakatulong yun sa pagdilig ng mga halaman, ano? But one
Hmm.
of the things that you have to understand that if you try to collect rainwater, you delay that water from going into the streets. You delay the flood. Instead of that
Mm.
water directly going outside and becoming part of the flood, you kind of delay it. You try to hold on to it. So, yung tubig na yun,
Ah.
hindi na pupunta rin muna doon. Maghihintay muna siya, ang magagamit mo muna. But the real thing is it helps delay flooding kasi nga instead of being part of the flood, now it's still part of your reserve.
See? If everybody does that in a community, hindi magbabaha.
Mababawasan
Kasi
yung
mababawasan yung occurrence ng baha kasi nga everybody saves the water first, makes uses it for their plants. So that's very interesting. Thank you so much, architect, for that. I'm so happy that we have you again tonight, and we've learned some very basic insights, and yet we don't really care so much about it, but now we have to care about it because now we know, when we know better, we do better. Dapat ganun yung rule natin. So now that we know better, we can do better even in our own homes. You don't have to go too far to serve other people. Just start in your home, and then it'll be when your home is better, you actually contribute to the community as well. So thank you so much, Architect Ramon, and thank you to our audience. Of course, we will have Architect Ramon again for another Servicio Sabado in the coming weeks. Kasi syempre marami tayong natutunan. So hopefully available ulit si Architect Ramon to be our guest for another episode, which are definitely helpful in our homes and in our communities. So once again, thank you, Architect Ramon Abiera, and to all our audience who are watching live, and to those who are watching replay, thank you so much for tuning in. You can also find these videos. We will be uploading this as well in YouTube. So kung hindi po ninyo napanood dito ng live, pwede rin po ninyong panoorin sa inyong mga TV. by visiting our YouTube channel. So you can also while you're having dinner maybe pwede kayong manood ng mga episodes dito ng podcast episodes. Ayun. So once again, thank you so much, Architect Ramon, and this has been Irene. I will see you all again on Monday for another Motivation Monday, and it has been a pleasure having Architect Ramon Abiera again for tonight's episode. And hopefully, we are looking forward to another episode with him. Stay safe, everyone. Stay healthy. And don't forget that we can contribute in our own little ways, starting in our own homes. And with that, stay healthy again, and God bless you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.